in the kitchen now with a lesson on how to use one specific kind of cookware. We're talking about the cast iron. And Megan Keno is the author of this new cookbook, Cast Iron Gourmet, and she's here to show me how to use this beloved cookware in ways that maybe we haven't thought about before. Yes. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
You have like so many things happening with the cast iron that I'm excited to dive into. But first, we have to talk about what we're making today, which is what?
We are making a goat cheese pesto skillet lasagna. Like we're talking,
all of my favorite things.
We're talking 3 cheeses here. Like we're not shorting any cheese.
Decadent. Oh, I'm so excited.
Yes, absolutely. What I love about this is that it's a 1-pan skillet lasagna. This is kind of one of those recipes that you layer everything in, you cover it, you let it set for 25 minutes, you top it with cheese and you're done.
Like, so you don't need to like finesse with it, like, you know, you can just put it in, forget it.
I'm a mom of 2. I work full time. I'm a food blogger. Like I have too many things going that I don't have time to fuss. And so this is like one of the recipes that it always hits. Like always hits.
I can already tell it's gonna hit. Okay, so you have some meat in here first.
Yeah, we've already browned our ground beef, our onion, our garlic and everything. Now we're ready for the pasta. You don't have to pre-boil your pasta like you would if you're making a traditional lasagna, which is fantastic because that's another 30 minutes of time.
It really is.
No one has. So, and I always love this because you get to break it apart into pieces, like just big hearty chunks. And then all you're doing is layering it into the pan.
And no real like precise way with this. No. It can just be, I mean, I feel like your kids could help with this.
My kids absolutely do. I mean, this is one of those things that they go a little rogue sometimes. But like big chunky pieces of pasta, however they fall is just perfect. And
then you smells so delicious too with all that garlic and everything.
Yeah, like this is step like 2 and it's already starting to smell really good.
Okay, perfect.
And then once this is all layered, then you're gonna pour over your diced tomatoes, an entire can. And all we're doing is creating these layers.
And then what is this? This is just tomato sauce.
Yeah, just pour that over.
Ooh, okay.
And then last thing is just half a cup of water. Just goes right over the top.
Is this just room temperature? So room temperature.
Okay. It doesn't need to be anything special.
Perfect.
And then we are going to go ahead and we will cover it.
And again, how long would something like that cook?
25 minutes.
25 minutes, that's it? Because again, lasagna is like, traditional lasagna is like a full day affair. If you're me, it's full day.
And I love the feeling of like a whole day made meal. Like you get to develop all those flavors and everything like that. But again, if you don't have the time, I don't have the time, I don't have the stress. So once this covers and sits, this is what you get. Like again, you just don't touch it. So now that we've done this, it's been sitting, the noodles are soft. Now you get to stir everything all up together.
Oh. And is that also some like what else is on there?
Yeah, we've got basil on top, and then here's where you're getting all of those good flavors.
Yum.
And then,
I still like the crispiness, so I like that like it's still giving like a little bit of that.
Yeah, and then what you can do is if you really love those crispy edges, once you put the cheese on, you can throw it in the broiler just to get that little bite back onto those edges. Or you can just set it like this, dump the cheese over it, let it melt, and then you're done. Like really, that's it.
Okay, so the cheese, please. Is this all going in, Parmesan cheese, everything?
This is a measure with your heart kind of thing.
Measure with your heart? Did we just become best friends? I love it, okay.
Right? So we've got Parmesan, we've got shredded mozzarella, and then of course it is goat cheese. You have to add goat cheese into this. I love it, it gives it that nice savory bite. And then of course we've got pesto. You're just dolloping pesto over the top of this. It's going to like meld in with the cheese. It's going to add that nice basil and extra garlic because who doesn't love more garlic?
All of it.
I mean, like let's be real here.
Is this too something that when you are putting all this in now, are we just waiting for the cheese to melt for a few minutes?
Yeah,
or
5 minutes, that's it.
5 minutes.
Just 5 minutes to let it set, let the cheese melt. If you want to, you can cover it or throw it in the broiler, whatever you want.
Which is cool because with the cast iron, you can do that in the oven, right? So talk to me about why you love cooking with a cast iron so much.
Well, yeah, cast iron is so versatile. It's something that had been relegated to like our grandmother's generation. I've got a pan that's 130 years old and people are like, what do I do with this? You can make really gourmet, easy meals and take kind of the mystery out of cast iron. It doesn't have to be intimidating. You can bring it into like the 21st century.
And you've even done dessert. I'm looking at
Yes.
So what else did you bring here that you want to show us?
Oh my gosh.
While you're showing us, is this good? Like, can I dive in now? I'm going to dive in and taste test.
So in the book, my whole goal was to demystify cast iron and bring in these like warm, flavorful spices that are just comforting. So we've also got the blueberry cardamom crumble, which is again another single skillet kind of dish. And then we've got the chicken tacos with poblano and then a pineapple salsa on top. So you've got the fresh pineapple, the lime in there, a little salt, a little jalapeno if you want to. You can make it as spicy or not spicy as you want to. Like,
gosh,
everything here is made to be a really good dish on its own, but then you can find ways to elevate them. So that's the whole point, is it's just a jumping off point to like really start your cast iron journey and then elevate it. Like, my goal is every day elevate it. And this book just nailed it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna keep diving in and tasting. This lasagna is delicious. Like you said, the goat cheese makes it so creamy with the pesto, the flavors, everything's coming through. So good. And I actually think I could make this during the week and
100%.
Easy enough. Your
100%.
cookbook, when did this come out and what are some other favorite recipes for someone that's thinking of diving into that?
Oh man. So we've republished the cookbook. It is now officially a self-published copy, which is so fantastic. It was a real exciting endeavor for me, especially because I'm launching my journey on Next Level Chef, and Gordon Ramsay had a copy. And if like that was the ultimate Princess Diaries moment for me, that like the GOAT has my cookbook. And then so being able to like re-release the cookbook to showcase everything that I've absolutely loved about cast iron was like a real monumental moment for me. And I've just been so pleased with the reception for it. So all of these recipes are hands down some of my favorite. And the cover recipe in itself is an Indian chicken and potato stew.
Oh.
That, honestly, it's better than takeout. I mean, there's a bit of a humble
statement.
brag here.
Bold.
But I stand by that. I have like, I recipe tested it so many times just because I couldn't get enough of it.
Whoa. Okay, and tell me too about your journey with Gordon Ramsay, Next Level Chef. This is so exciting.
It was wild. So we're finally getting to air the season. We filmed it last year. So like holding this secret has been monumentally like difficult because it's so exciting. And getting to meet, 27 other contestants, the judges, they're fantastic people, and we've really just created these amazing bonds, and it's a competition show. At the end of the day, it's a competition show, but we are also all best friends.
Gosh, that's amazing. Good luck with all of that.
Thank you.
And I want to ask too, pro tip with cast iron, cleaning, taking care of, what are some of your tips too with that?
So one of the things I love about enameled cast iron like these ones is that they don't require kind of the hand holding that like black standard cast iron does.
That's what I'm thinking of, yes.
So if you are nervous about cast iron, these are a great place to start. All they have to do, you just wash them like any other pan. They don't require the seasoning, you just dry them, put them away.
So you can use soap on those?
Yes, I use soap on my regular cast iron.
You do?
I do.
People always yell at me, they're like, what are you doing? You're gonna ruin my grandmother's.
I used to be that way too. And I mean, I've had mine for years. I've got pans that are decades old. I've got pans that are 130 years old, so you can use soap on them just like anything else. Just dry them, re-season them, and you're good to go.
Bada bing, bada boom.
That's it.
Well, this is delicious. This is definitely going into my rotation.
Excellent.
Thank you so much for being here and sharing your passion with us all.
Thank you so much.
The New Day Northwest Kitchen is brought to you by Safeway.